Hey everybody, DSDghost here with your vendor restock for Friday, July 7th, 2017. I will go through all of the safe houses and then the dark zone, and I will leave timestamps in the comments so you can just go to where you need to go. So we're going to start with the special blueprints vendor. We have Navy MP5, which is actually pretty decent. We have converted USC blueprint, stamina knee pads, firearms glove. We have a hollow sight for crit chance large mod. We have a flash hider. We have a firearms gear mod, electronics gear mod, military P416, M45A1, firearms mask, stamina, and all of the rest are all low tiered items. And that is all for your special blueprints vendor. So Navy MP5, if you don't already have one, that's a pretty good pickup. And then, you know, stamina knee pads, firearms gloves, hollow sight, because that's power level 34, flash hider 34, and then that would be about it. The gear mods 34, electronics is 34. So that's what I would go for. And that's special blueprints vendor. Here we have the special equipment vendor. We have the historian with ferocious, predatory, and history repeats. We have centurion with expert and fierce. Cassidy with determined, deadly, and boomstick. We have the pecan with sustained, fierce, and pecan. Liberator with dominant, deadly, and destructive. We have the snub-nosed rhino with expert and commanding. Converted USC, commanding, adept, and ambusher. Police M4 with responsive, ferocious, and commanding. Tactical Super 90, deadly, trained, and commanding. SRS A1, swift, prepared, dominant. MG5 with fierce, brutal, and dominant. We have a refresh mask with all resistance, burn resistance. We have a mask of the Nomad, crit damage, burn resistance, 900 firearms. We have a fire crest mask with 1251 stamina, health on kill, and damage to elites. We have a Deadeye mask, exotic damage resilience, and damage to elites. We have a Banshee mask with 1122 stamina, all resistance, and damage to elites. We have a robust chest piece, rolled electronics with health, exotic, and ammo capacity. We have a specialized backpack, rolled skill power, stamina, and disrupt. We have a tactician's backpack, 14 electronics with health and burn. We have a prosperous knee pads, enemy armor damage, increase, kill, shock, and blind. We have a striker knee pad, rolled firearms with burn, bleed, and blind. With exotic damage resilience, we have sentry knee pads, 1201 firearms, all resistance, damage release, blind, and death resistance, increased kill XP. We have reclaimer braces that are rolled stamina with skill power, increased kill, damage release, shock. We have a tactical holster nimble with crit chance. We have a Lone Star holster with skill haste. We have a Predator Mark holster, rolled crit chance. That is not too bad. Everything's in 1200. It's pretty high 1200s. The armor is pretty low, not that low, and then you have the crit chance rolled on there, so not bad. Predator Mark knee pads. Hunter's Faith holster, rolled skill haste. We have an Alphabridge holster, rolled health. We have a defense holster, rolled health. We have decisive gloves with LMG, pistol, and enemy armor damage. We have final measure gloves with firearms marksman, crit damage, and skill haste. We have an electronics mod with crit chance. We have a performance mod with smart cover. We have a quick release mag, reload speed, crit chance, magazine size. We have a suppressor with accuracy. We have a grip with optimal range, and we have a red dot with crit damage, accuracy, and headshot damage. And that is it for the special equipment vendor. Here we have the advanced weaponry vendor. We got an M45A1 with expert harmful on it. We have a vector with hurried, ferocious, and adept. It's not too bad if you're trying to go for crit. The crit's a little low on here, 19.5. Not the best, but if somebody wants a vector, that you can do that. It has a small mag size though. Hurried and adept. We got a tactical ACR with fierce, dominant, and brutal. We got a military M870 with determined, talented, and self-preserved. We got a model 700 with prepared, cool-headed, and elevated. We got a military L86 with brutal, dominant, and accurate. We have a quick release mag with reload speed and rate of fire. We got a suppressor with accuracy. We have a grip with accuracy. And we have a scope with crit hit chance. That wraps it up for the advanced weaponry vendor. Here we have the weapon and the gear vendor in the base of operations. You have a classic RPK with vicious, predatory, and destructive, and a grip with reload speed, crit damage, and optimal range. In the gear vendor, you have a robust chest with skill haste and all resistance and increased kill XP. And then you have a firearms mod with skill haste. That's actually pretty decent if you don't already have one. The rolls are pretty low, but it'll suffice. I'm actually going to buy a couple of these real quick. Okay. And that wraps it up for your base of operations weapon and gear vendors. So we have the Camp Hudson weapon vendor. He has a converted USC with hurried, competent, and ambusher, and a suppressor with headshot damage, stability, and crit hit damage. We then have the gear vendor that has a sturdy holster with skill haste and a firearms mod with signature ability resource gain. So not much here at Camp Hudson. Here we are at the meat locker. In this weapon vendor we have a converted USC with accurate, determined, and ambusher, a suppressor with headshot damage, crit chance, and stability, and that is it over here. That wraps it up for the meat locker. Here we are at Kerman Station. Looking at the weapon vendor here, we have a surplus SVD with unforgiving, balanced, and discipline. And we have a grip with stability, accuracy, and optimal range. That wraps it up for Kerman Station. Here we are at the cavern. Let's take a look and see what this guy's got for us. This gear vendor has a steadfast holster with reload speed and a electronics mod with signature ability resource gain. So not much here for you at the cavern. Here we are at Dante's Run Safehouse. Let's see what he's got for us, this gear vendor. He has a decisive glove with enemy armor damage, LMG damage, and crit hit damage. And we have an electronics mod, 244 with skill power. That wraps it up for Dante's Run Safehouse. Here we are at Wolf's Den Safehouse. At this weapon vendor, we have a converted SMG9 with unforgiving, self-preserved, and determined. And we have a 12-time scope with 16 headshot damage, accuracy, and crit hit damage. That is it for Wolf's Den Safehouse. And here we are at Autumn's Hope Safehouse. This gear vendor has a robust chest piece with enemy armor damage, health, and ammo capacity. And we have a performance mod with support station duration. That wraps it up for Autumn's Hope. Here we are at the Crypt. This weapon vendor has a converted SMG9 with accurate, adept, and capable, and a 12-time scope with 17 headshot damage, accuracy, and stability. Here we are at the Firewall. This vendor has an Inventive backpack with skill power and disrupt resistance, and a performance mod that is support station range. That wraps it up for the Firewall. Here we are at the Grindhouse. At this weapon vendor, we have a Rhino Special with expert and skilled on it, and a hand stop with reload speed, optimal range, and stability. Here we are at Southpaw. This vendor has An Inventive backpack with skill power and disrupt resistance. This is not a bad one. 1230 armor, 1271 firearms, and increased skill power by 15% while full health with skill power and disrupt resistance. Not a bad Inventive backpack. And that is for that. And then we have mobile cover health over here. So Inventive backpack is what you want over here if you're looking for one at Southpaw. Here we are at the ward. In the ward, at this gear vendor, we have a rapid chest piece with enemy armor damage, health, and ammo capacity. Rolled 1228 electronics, 1824 armor, and a pulse crit hit chance performance mod. That is over here at the ward. Here we are at the last call Safehouse. At this weapon vendor, we have X45 with Expert and Toxic, and an extended mag with 110 mag size, reload speed, and crit hit damage. That's over here at Last Call Safehouse. Here we are at Madison Stand Safehouse. And at this vendor, we have Cunning Gloves with enemy armor damage, assault rifle, and pistol damage, and a 1.5% pulse crit hit damage. Here we are at the 5th Ave Dark Zone vendor. He has a classic M44 carbine with skilled, swift, determined, and 163 headshot damage. So not the best there. We have a Gunslinger holster steadfast with Skill Haste. We have a Stamina mod with Skill Haste. This is a nice Stamina mod. If you don't already have one, rolled Skill Haste, 249. Not a bad Stamina roll here. Then you have a Flash Hider with accuracy, headshot damage, and crit hit chance. That wraps it up for 5th Ave Dark Zone vendor. Here we are at the West 31st Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor. We have a classic RPK with Unforgiving, Dominant, and Fierce. We have Cunning Gloves with assault rifle damage, crit hit chance, and enemy armor damage. We have a performance mod with support station duration. And we have a grip with optimal range, reload speed, and stability. That wraps it up for our West 31st Street Dark Zone vendor. Here we are at the West 34th Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor. We have a military SA-58 with fierce, responsive, and commanding. We have an operator mask with enduring, crit hit chance, and burn resistance. We have a performance mod with 4% pulse duration. And we have a 4x ACOG scope with accuracy, crit hit damage, and stability. That is your West 34th Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor. Here we are at the West 39th Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor with a military M9 Expert Deadly. We have Cunning Gloves with Skill Haste, SMG damage, and crit hit damage. We have a Stamina mod, rolled skill power. And we have a small grip that is rolled crit damage, accuracy, and stability. West 39th Street. Here we are at the West 42nd Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor. We have a converted USC with Dominant, Hurried, and Ambusher. We have operator pads that are accomplished with crit damage, increased kill, blind, and burn. We have a Stamina mod, rolled all resistance, and a grip that is rolled crit damage, stability, and reload speed. That is your West 42nd Street. Here we are at the West 46th Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor. We got a Black Market M60 with accurate, skilled, and competent. We have an enduring mask with crit chance and damage to elites. We have a Firearms mod, rolled exotic damage resilience, and a loud vent brake muzzle with crit damage, accuracy, and optimal range. West 46th Street. Here we are at West 53rd Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor. We have an SMG-9 with Determined, Talented, and Brutal. We have an operator knee pads accomplished with exotic damage resilience, disrupt, blind, and shock. We have a performance mod that is ballistic shield health. And we have a small laser pointer grip, accuracy, reload speed, and stability. That is your West 53rd Street checkpoint. Here we are at the East 64th Street Dark Zone checkpoint vendor, we have a Firearms Mod with Skill Haste. This is actually better than the one that is in one of these safe houses. So this is where you want to get your Firearms Mod. It's 264 firearms with 3% Skill Haste. Very, very nice right there. Then you have a Ballistic Shield Damage 3.5 Performance Mod. So Firearms Mod over here, this is one you definitely want to pick up. And that is over here at the East 64th Street Dark Zone Checkpoint vendor. Here we are at the East 61st Street Dark Zone Checkpoint vendor. We have a quick release mag, reload speed, crit damage, and crit hit chance. We have a suppressor, rolled headshot, optimal range, and crit chance. We have a grip that is rolled optimal range, stability, and reload speed. And we have an 8x scope, stability, headshot damage, and crit damage. We're over here in the East 61st Street Dark Zone vendor. Here we are at the East 58th Street Dark Zone Checkpoint vendor. We have a Tactical Mask, Rejuvenated, Rolled Skill Power, and Blind and Death Resistance. We have a Rapid Chest Piece with Enemy Armor Damage, Skill Haste, and Ammo Capacity. We have a Specialized Backpack, Rolled Skill Power, and Ammo Capacity. This is pretty good if you're looking for a skill-powered Specialized Backpack. You can roll off the Stamina. So not a bad roll here, 1231 armor. Roll off the Stamina, Skill Power, Ammo Capacity for a Specialized Backpack. We have Tactical Knee Pads accomplished with All Resistance, Shock Resistance, Disrupt, and Blind. We have a Nimble Holster with Health, and we have a Cutting Glove with Skill, LMG, and Pistol damage. Here we are at Park Ave Dark Zone Checkpoint vendor. We have a 93R with Expert and Trained. We have a Police UMP with Capable, Fierce, and Ambusher. We have an Enhanced ACR with Capable, Responsive, and Competent. Military M870 with Vicious, Fierce, and Destructive. SRSA-1 with Intense, Determined, and Unforgiving. And Military RPK 74 with Dominant, Brutal, and Predatory. Here we are at the East 53rd Street Dark Zone Checkpoint vendor with an MG5 with Dominant, Accurate, and Determined. We have a Reckless Chest Piece with All Resistance, Skill Haste, and Ammo Capacity. This is actually not bad. It's rolled Stamina, roll off All Resistance for some health. You have your Skill Haste and your Ammo Capacity on here. So not a bad Reckless Chest Piece over here. In this vendor, we have a Performance Mod, so you can Explosion Radius. We have a Hand Stop, Reload Speed, Accuracy, and Crit Damage. So over here, I would say Reckless Chest Piece is what you want over here at your East 53rd Street Dark Zone vendor. Here we are at the East 46th Street Dark Zone vendor. We have a Tactical Super 90 with Self-Reserve, Talented, and Fierce. We have a Vigorous Chest Piece, rolled Exotic, Damage Resilience, Health, and Increased Kill XP. Performance Mod with Sticky Bomb damage, and you have an Angled Grip, Stability, Optimal Range, and Crit Hit damage. That's it for the East 46th Street. Here we are at the East 42nd Street Dark Zone vendor. We have a G36C with Brutal, Sustain, and Focus. We have an Enduring Mask with Health on Kill and Burn Resistance. We have a Firearms Mod with Signature Ability, Resource Gain. And we have a Heavy Magazine with Reload Speed, Crit Chance, and Rate of Fire. Here we are at the East 40th Dark Zone Checkpoint vendor. 93R with Expert and Commanding. We have Operator Gloves, Absolute with Health on Kill, Crit Damage, and Marksman Rifle Damage. We have a Performance Mod with Pulse Duration. And we have a Mini Scope with Crit Chance, Headshot Damage, and Optimal Range. Here we are at the East 34th Street Dark Zone vendor. We have an AUG with Sustained, Adept, and Dominant. We have a Gunslinger Vest Rapid with Enemy Armor Damage, Health Resistance, and Increased Kill XP. Performance Mod with Pulse Crit Chance, and a Grip with Accuracy, Stability, and Reload Speed. Here we are at the East 31st Street Dark Zone Checkpoint. We have a Military Scar H with Vicious, Capable, and Prepared. We have Prosperous Knee Pads with Skill Power, Shock, Disrupt, and Damage to Elites. We have an Electronics Mod with All Resistance. And a 4x Scope, Rolled Accuracy, Headshot Damage, and Optimal Range. Here we are at the DZ2 Safehouse. We have a Rejuvenated Mask with All Resistance, Blind, and Death. And that is it. Rolled Stamina. We have a Reckless Chest Piece with All Resistance, Health, and Increased Kill XP. We have a Tactical Resourceful Backpack with Skill Power and Ammo Capacity. And we have an accomplished knee pads with health, burn, disorient, and bleed. We got steadfast holster with reload speed, and we have gloves, decisive gloves with health on kill, marksman rifle damage, and skill haste. That is it for your DZ2 Safehouse. Here we are at the DZ3 vendor. We have DZ3 safe room vendor. We have a M45 A1 with expert talented on it. We have a Navy MP5 N with unforgiving, destructive, and swift. Don't even bother, just get the blueprint from the base of operations. We have an ACR with ferocious, talented, and prepared. Super 90 with fierce, unforgiving, and sustained. Hunting M44 with destructive, talented, and adept. Tactical M249 with sustained, self-reserve, and brutal. So not much over here in the DZ3 safe room. Here we are at the DZ4 safe room dark zone vendor. We have Firearms Mod rolled health and a performance mod with sports station healing speed. Here we are at the DZ5 Safehouse. Here we have a heavy magazine with 12 mag size, crit damage, and rate of fire. We have a compensator with stability, stability, crit hit damage, and headshot damage. We have a grip with crit damage, reload speed, and stability, and a 15 times scope with headshot damage, stability, and critical hit damage. Here we are at the DZ6 Dark Zone safe room vendor. We have a Hunter's Faith mask with firearms, skill power, and increased kill XP. Alphabridge chest piece rolled skill haste, health, and ammo capacity. This is a really nice chest piece if you're not running vigorous or reckless or anything like that. Very nice. 1984 armor. It's rolled stamina, skill haste, health, and ammo capacity. Roll this stamina off for something else. Higher stamina, firearms, electronics, whatever you want. But this is actually a very nice chest piece. We have a Sentry Call backpack with stamina, skill power, and bleed. We have a Deadeye knee pad with stamina, enemy armor damage, disorient, bleed, and shock. Banshee holster with crit chance. Defense gloves with crit damage, skill haste, LMG damage, rolled stamina. And that is it for this vendor. So Alphabridge backpack, DZ6, or Alphabridge chest piece rather, in DZ6 safe room. Here we are at the DZ7 and 8 safe room, or DZ8 safe house. Here we have the Dark Zone gear vendor, has a tactical mask tenacious with all resistance and burn resistance. We have a robust chest piece with exotic damage, resilience, skill haste, and ammo capacity. We have an inventive backpack with crit damage and bleed. We have an operator knee pad, prosperous with health, disrupt, shock, and burn. Steadfast holster with skill haste, and cunning gloves with LMG, health on kill, and crit hit damage. In the special vendor, we have Deadeye mask with all resistance damage to elites. We have a Lone Star chest piece with health on kill, and increased kill XP. Deadeye backpack with crit damage, disrupt, and disrolled electronics. Tactician's knee pads with 1228 electronics, anywhere armor damage, increased kill XP, disorient resistance, and shock. Lone Star holster, rolled skill haste, not the best. And then we have Banshee gloves, enemy armor damage, health on kill, SMG damage, rolled electronic. That is it, DZ8 safe room. Here we are, last but not least, DZ9 safe house. We have the special vendor, has a final measure mask, rolled stamina, health on kill, and burn resistance. Not a bad pair of a mask right there. We have a Hunter's Faith chest piece, rolled enemy armor damage, skill haste, and ammo capacity with stamina. We have a D3 backpack with skill power and burn resistance and rolled firearms. Lone Star knee pads, rolled electronics, enemy armor damage, disrupt, shock, and burn. Pretty good there. We have Banshee holster, reload speed is on it, very bad because everything's in the 1100s. And a final measure glove with assault rifle, crit hit damage, and crit hit chance. And then here at the weapon vendor in DZ9 safe house, we have an extended mag with 11 116 mag size, 5.3 rate of fire, flash hider with accuracy, crit chance, crit damage, grip with accuracy, optimal range, and crit damage, and then a red dot with accuracy, optimal range, and stability. And that wraps it up for the reset for July 7, 2017, Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please throw it a thumbs up so I can continue to do more. And I know you guys are getting stuff out of it. Hope this helps, and hope to see you guys on my live streams. Thanks and have a great day.